okay, man? You took quite a spill there. So, yesterday I heard this expression. Someone told me, you're throwing rocks from a glass house. I don't know what that means. Like, of course I'm throwing rocks from a glass house. In fact, those who live in glass houses probably throw rocks the hardest, right? Like a creature at the end of its life in a corner is gonna fight the hardest. But I don't really get this phrase. I think we should try to switch to a more simple phrase instead of like those most aggressive have the most to hide or something. But whoa, you okay, man? You took quite a spill there. So the other day, someone told me this expression. It was you're throwing rocks from a glass house. Now, I don't really get that. I don't think that expression makes a lot of sense. Really, the phrase should be, those who live in glass houses throw the hardest rocks. I think what we're just trying to say is that like aggressiveness is a direct consequence of insecurity. But we just have to hide behind these allegories, these metaphors that don't make sense. Whoa, you okay, man? You took quite a spill there. So, I heard an expression the other day. You're throwing rocks from a glass house. I mean, what does that even mean? Of course you're throwing rocks from a glass house. If you have no defense, you have nothing else to do except for throw rocks. Now, I mean, we could just switch up this expression. You're shooting a gun from a meat sack. Yeah, of course. Life isn't a battle, it's not a war, it's a duel. You either win or you lose immediately. And I don't want to hear this expression, throwing rocks from a glass house. At least you're throwing rocks. In fact, those in glass houses should throw rocks the hardest. I mean, I really think we have to rephrase the expressions that. Whoa, you okay, man? You took quite a spill there. So, I heard an expression the other day. Those who live in glass houses throw rocks. But, I think this expression is all backwards. Like, imagine we rephrase it. Those who have the biggest guns are in meat sacks? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, what are we trying to say? Insecurity causes aggressiveness? That doesn't make any sense. That would never make any sense. Really, I think we have to take it back to our roots. You have to spend time in the gutter to make the gold. I'm always saying, whoa, you okay, man? You took quite a spill there. So, back on the topic of expressions, I mean, what are we saying here? Aggressiveness is a consequence of insecurity? I mean, if you're being attacked, it doesn't matter what house you're in. You just have to throw hard rocks. Especially if you're trying to prove a point. I mean, aggressiveness is what wins arguments, not passiveness. Throwing rocks from a glass house is better than throwing nothing, throwing air from a glass house. We don't fight with weapons that can't kill us. They have to be able to do that because we fight against ourselves. We fight against other humans. So, I mean, this is why we should go back to this more traditional. Whoa, you okay, man? You took quite a spill there. I've always been a big proponent of the expression, sometimes you gotta get the ball rolling, and then it rolls itself. And that's true always. I mean, nothing can really roll itself. Think about a rock. It can never really be thrown outside of a glass house by itself. That doesn't make any sense. Who's throwing these houses anyways? Who's making these rocks? Who's living in these rocks? A glass house? Wouldn't that light something on fire? That seems pretty dangerous. Think about how hot that would get. A glass house? Maybe you need some rocks. Some rocks in your life to break up the glass. Whoa. You okay, man? You took quite a spill there. So anyways, man, I was talking to someone the other day and they said actions speak louder than words. And I was like, the pen is mightier than the sword, bro. And he was like, damn, bro, that's crazy. And then, that was it. I just threw a huge rock at his glass house. But then I realized the pen is mightier than the sword. Yet I threw a rock at his house. I did some action. Maybe I live in a glass house. I can never really know. Can you? Do you know? Maybe, just maybe, I had to get some gold by spending some time in the gutter. In the gutter, I have to spend some time to get to the gold. Maybe I can spend money. I can make money by spending money. I have to find a way. I have to find someone who thinks the same as me, like you. Whoa, you okay, man? You took quite a spill there. I think talking about guns and politics and the Second Amendment. My friend was really talking to me. He was saying a batter who swings a lot misses sometimes, and I thought, well, isn't that most of the time, right? Like, batters aren't expected to hit most of the time. The difference between a 300 batter and a 250 batter is one hit a week. That's not many. One hit a week, that's like $40 million in salary difference. And also, like, a player who hits a lot doesn't necessarily swing a lot. Taking opportunity and striking when the time is right aren't necessarily always the same thing. Sometimes they are. They're pretty close, but not always. And then you got like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but like sometimes you do make those shots. You can benefit from opportunities you haven't taken. Just like if you don't swing, you can get on base. So there's a skill. There's a true skill in baseball and not swinging. Take a look at Shohei Ohtani. No, he sucks. But really, if you wanted a true authority, I would tell you that birds of a feather flock together. My friend told me that. He's very different from me. Opposites attract and all that. But there was a documentary I was watching once. It was called Blue Planet, Blue Earth. It was called Brave New World by the guy who makes all of the green stuff, right? You know who he is. And he was telling me about the friend who I was watching the movie with, the little big green planet, the movie. And he told me something really interesting. You know that polar bears are actually like black underneath all of their furs? No, that's a zebra. No, he said that if you see a bear and it's brown, you go to the ground, and if it's black, you fight back, and if it's white, then you go to sleep. I think he said that. He did. I think. Well, you've heard that, right? You've heard that. But anyways, this all reminds me. It brings me back to the gun, brings me back to the Second Amendment. It brings me back to pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. It is possible. It is possible to support yourself. I mean, logically it doesn't seem so, but it's like crossing a bridge and juggling. You're not actually, you're throwing the weight up in the air, you're paying it later, you're getting credit. Credit? Let's talk about credit. I mean, time is money. This is true. Time is money. Would you agree? Time is money, but if you could pay stuff back later, isn't that more money? I mean, you're delaying the time, so you just get more money. This is, I mean, how much credit card debt do you have? I have a lot, but credit card debt is good. Credit is good. Loans are good. Hey, what are you looking at? That building look interesting to you? You see, I mean, no offense, but like, this is why I don't hang out with you. This stupid shit like this. That's not very exciting. Don't do this. Stop.
Can I come with you?
They call me Dr. Worm. Good morning.